Hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I am Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So as always, as it has been a usual drill, let's just begin with some cricket news here, and it's obviously great news for the Indian cricket team here because in all likelihood Rishabh Pant is going to keep wickets in the penultimate test of the five-match series against England here. That's going to begin on July 23rd at Old Trafford in Manchester. Well, Rishabh Pant, he was hit on his finger while wicket keeping in the first innings of the Lord's Test, but then with Rishabh Pant, one thing is now that his finger is healing pretty well, and there's a very good chance that he is going to keep wickets. And how I'm really saying that, because there were visuals during India's practice in Manchester in which he was doing all those wicket keeping drills and did not really look in any kind of discomfort. There was no pain whatsoever that he had been feeling in the lead up to the Manchester test here now. So that's great news, which could mean that Dhruv Jurel, who had actually kept wickets in the majority of the first England batting innings and obviously their second innings too, is likely to miss out unless India decide to have him as an extra batter in the series. Well, moving on, one more important thing, and that's also a great update for Indian team here, that Jasprit Bumrah is all set to play the fourth test here. That's what Mohammad Siraj confirmed, that things are pretty much moving in the direction of having Bumrah once again for the Manchester test. That's what he said, that the team management is looking at him for the penultimate game of the series here. And who could really be the third seamer apart from Bumrah and Siraj? Well, it could really be Akashdeep, but then he's suffering from a groin niggle and there's still a question mark over his fitness. We have Arshdeep, he's already out of the fourth test here after being hit on his bowling arm. And Anshul Kamboj has been added to the squad as a cover. He also had an extended bowling session with the likes of Shardul Thakur. So that's where maybe a decision could be taken. And even Prasidh Krishna, who was slightly inconsistent in the first couple of test matches that he played, could mark his return in the Manchester test. So that's the thing that even Siraj also said, that Bumrah is going to be available. So good news for India, double boost as far as Pant and Bumrah are concerned. But then Akashdeep, his fitness is pretty much doubtful here. Moving on to some more cricket news here. Now this is from the women's circuit, India versus England, the women's ODI series. Well, a chance for India to claim an ODI series win here. The series is currently level at 1-1. India had won the series opener, but they could not really do well in the second ODI, which was a rain-curtailed one, and they lost that rather comprehensively. But now in the third ODI, that's going to take place today evening about 5:30 p.m. IST. It's going to be a chance for India to script history once again. Well, remember the last time India had toured England for an ODI series, they actually blanked them 3-0, and it was also Jhulan Goswami's last international assignment for India. And this time around, with all the players that they have, the transition that they are going through as far as the middle order and in the bowling attack is concerned, this Indian team would really want to end this series on a high, knowing that each win would actually propel their confidence as far as the Women's ODI Cup goes, or Women's ODI World Cup goes, that's going to take place later in 2025. Also, something about Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Well, he could not really do well in the second youth test between India and England that's currently undergoing in Chelmsford here. Well, India, in the first batting innings, Vaibhav Suryavanshi, he did open the innings, but then he scored about a good 20 odd before falling. So turning out to be a not so good ride for him as far as red ball cricket is concerned. But then, in all the youth ODIs that he played and the white ball games there, he did manage to do well. So that's about it as far as the latest cricket news are concerned. Now let's just see what the newspapers really have to tell us. Charlotte Edwards is really a big fan of Amanjot Kaur. After working with her at Mumbai Indians, she said that Amanjot has really improved as a cricketer. And there's a bit about football here, that Stephen Constantine and Khalil Jamal, they have applied for the coach's post as far as the Indian men's football team is concerned. Well, Manolo Marquez, he was actually terminated as the head coach of the Indian men's football team, and now they are looking at a new coach. Stephen Constantine is one of the options here. He had served as the head coach multiple times in the past, in about 2002 until 2005, and later in the 2010s for about 4 years or so. Whether he's going to be given a third term or not, that remains to be seen. But then there are many candidates, and the position will be filled later. But the entries of the head coach's post is going to end on July 13th. Then Divya Deshmukh has joined Koni Ruhampi in the Chess World Cup semis. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. Let's take maybe one or two comments here before we wrap things up. Saurav Kumar has a comment that why Gus Atkinson wasn't selected. I think England have just gone on with the best possible lineup that they have. You know, they won the Lord's Test with the three seamers that they have, and obviously Ben Stokes as the fourth seamer. So it's Stokes, Jofra Archer, Bryden Cast, there is Chris Wokes, and knowing that Gus Atkinson would be required later for the Ashes, so maybe he's just being preserved because he's also the one who is coming back from injury. I think there's another comment from Saurav Kumar that three spinners on a damp wicket be a luxury. Not sure about it, but if you ask me, I think if it's going to be pretty much cloudy on most days of the test match, let's say it's cloudy for about 3 or 4 days, then I'm going to go with four pacers in that particular case. But the weather on the first couple of days, it's not really good. It is slated to get better as far as the day 3 and day 4 goes, but more or less it is set to remain cloudy. And last comment from Freaking Awesome, 294 highest ever total chased in fourth innings in Manchester. Considering the weather, how wicket behaves in second innings, better India bat first when they win the toss. Yeah, that's pretty much the case there. You obviously, in these kind of conditions, you would want to bat first and have that that sort of advantage that England had in the Lord's Test. So stay tuned to Sports Today as we'll bring you all the latest updates and analysis from the sporting world. A lot of content is going to come your way this evening. The Indian press conference, as far as and obviously the England press conference too. There's going to be more updates regarding India's possible playing 11. Then a lot more relating to the Women's Chess World Cup. My colleague Siddharth Vishwanathan will bring you all those latest updates, and we'll keep you posted about anything and everything that goes on in the sporting world.